Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Twists, a podcast where we like to talk about Round the Twist, an 80s, 90s television show from Australia. My name is Joe Lewis, and I'm joined here today, as always, by my co-host, Anthony Bull.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Joe?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good.
We are...
Well,
That's good?
swell, yeah.
Swell?
I'm pretty good, yeah.
Is that better than, or less
it's
than?
a bit like
good?
a storm, isn't it? It's a swell.
What?
That's a swell.
Swell?
Yeah, that's a storm, right? In the sea?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like that.
So, is that a good feeling, or
Yeah,
a
it's
bad
great.
feeling?
I'm raging against all the mighty, tiny little boats on
And
the
also,
ocean.
the machine.
And the machine. I rage against that machine. Which,
Today-
do you know, is actually...
Yes.
It's actually code for, I think it's, raging against corporations.
I thought it was against robots, like the singularity.
I was actually... No, it's really about... It's really against corporations. Like,
Yes.
They're
The man.
they're a totally thing. I thought I was making a joke. I was being like, oh, here's Anthony, he doesn't know that, but it's like, you thought it was actually about robots?
No, I was joking.
Oh, good, fucking hell. I was like, geez Louise.
No, you've podcasted with me for long enough.
Joseph.
My unfunny jokes.
Oh, your
are a
unfunny jokes,
commonplace here.
they fly over my head.
Today, we're joined together to talk about the second last episode of Season 1. Did you know it was our second last episode of Season 1? Did you know that?
No, I sort of knew it was coming, I guess. It was a bit of a shock.
Well, you have to get to it eventually.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, I don't really want to.
Why not?
I don't know.
You're having so much fun.
Having so much fun on the train that never stops.
Is it true that never have you ever had so much fun?
Yes, I never ever felt like this. And then strange things happened and I went around it.
Today, we're talking about Without My Pants.
Yeah.
The name of the episode. Bit of a strange one.
My
I have to
favourite
say.
episode?
Your favourite episode.
One of my favourites.
You have several favourites, right?
Yep. I like this one because it basically,
Yes.
and what's the word I'm looking for? It's a statement that encapsulates your life.
How's that?
Well, I like to not wear pants.
Really?
Yeah. It's great. It's awesome. Like pants
Freeing.
yeah. Pants are, are tools of oppression to keep men in line.
Let us just
Be free. Be
confirm
free,
here.
man.
You're talking about you don't like to wear trousers or shorts.
Yeah.
Right?
If I don't have to. I mean, how fun it is to just chill out and bloody your boxers.
Because I believe in the UK, when they say pants, they refer to, like, your underpants.
Yeah, well, we don't. That's not what we refer to it. We refer to it as, like, the things
No,
that
it's
go
just
over
like-
your regular pants. Otherwise, why refer to them as underpants?
We have one international listener, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just give them
Alright,
a bit of
yeah.
background information.
Well, I mean, you people in the UK, you say pants wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Well, why do we say pants? Like, trousers, right, or shorts? It's just like a general term.
Yeah, but, like, why do we call underpants underpants? Because they
they're
go under the pants.
Yeah, I know.
So it makes sense, like, technically, actually, you think about underpants, right?
Yes.
Would pants just be the classification of the thing that goes over you? That's okay. So you got your undies. And call them
Yes.
anything else. Anything
Jocks.
over the top of that, would that count as
The top layer.
as pants?
Well, it would, no. Pants, in general, are, well, pants are, go around your leg. Like a single leg, not two legs at once, because then that would be a skirt or a dress,
Well, then
right?
why don't they call when you wear a kilt?
Yes.
Right.
That's not pants. That's a kilt.
Yeah, but why don't you when you wear the underpants under the kilt? Which apparently, I don't know, some Scottish tradition. It's like if there's a female sitting
You
on.
don't.
If there's a female monarch sitting on the
Yes.
British throne, you're supposed to wear underpants.
Oh.
I think.
thought it was a blanket rule you're not supposed to wear underpants.
No, you're supposed to wear underpants.
Huh.
If there's a male, then you can not wear it. So that would be actually under kilts.
Yep.
And then when you see a woman's underpants, she's wearing a skirt. Technically, that would be an underskirt.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure there's also underskirts.
Really?
I think so. Like, there's something else you can wear underneath the skirt to give it, like, bust or
Oh.
something.
Like a hula hoop.
Yeah, probably. That would be an underskirt garment, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So, for me, as far as I'm concerned, pants is anything that covers your legs.
Well, I think underpants is just a generic term that comes from something that you would wear under your pants. You can wear that under a skirt if you want.
I suppose you could, yeah.
They're still underpants.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they're pants that are underneath. They're not the garment that you wear under pants, right?
That's true. That is true.
Because they're a kind of pants. They're just really
Yeah.
short.
If you wear an undershirt,
Yes.
but don't wear a shirt over the top, is that still an undershirt?
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be
Same
a
deal, right?
style-
Same issue, right?
It could be a style of clothing, right? An
It's
undershirt.
like you're wearing that undershirt thing, like boom, 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 like a singlet. Then you take off your shirt,
Yes.
and suddenly it becomes your shirt.
It's like one of these things where if it can be an undershirt, but an undershirt is an undershirt, but you can also have another shirt and wear it as an undershirt.
Yeah.
But that it could also not be an undershirt.
It's kind of like Undertaker too.
Well, how's that?
Well, Undertakers take you under. They take you down into the ground.
To the grave.
To the grave. But if you get shot into a rocket, that would be an overtaker.
What?
Right.
Hang on, what?
Let's say that instead of being put in the ground, you get put into space. Because you're like space funeral. Then all of a sudden you're not an undertaker, you'd be an overtaker.
When has this ever happened in history before?
Well, Gene Roddenberry's ashes was shot into space.
What?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people, like NASA scientists, that were shot into space. Their ashes were like shot into space from like a space satellite or something.
Really?
Gene Roddenberry was one of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, the person who did that was probably not an undertaker and probably a NASA engineer.
Probably, you never know. Could be both.
Well,
maybe he does like undertaking as a hobby.
Maybe.
You never know.
But you're right. He would be doing his position as an overtaker.
Yeah, that's right. Don't overtake me on the highway.
Without My Pants is an episode of Around the Twist. And at the beginning of an episode, it starts off with a teaser to give us a little bit of an idea of what's about to happen in the episode. Usually it's kind of abstract, maybe something over a black background or something weird going on, some special effects. This week felt really lazy.
Yeah, actually, I thought like when I first saw it,
yes.
it would actually be one of a few ones that's actually really connected to the story. Like,
yeah,
because we see what it is there's a poster called, the happiest town in the world poster.
Yes.
And you then hanging up on the lighthouse.
Yes.
And you see Nell come into the shot. She takes down the poster, she rips it down, and she like sort of tears it up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, without my pants. And I thought, oh, well, maybe there's an issue. Maybe this would lead into, we shouldn't be happy because Nell would be playing a more important role in the story. Nope.
Does she even show up?
She doesn't even show up. So
they just had to get a... You know what I think happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think generally they would shoot them before or after, probably not at the same time. That's why we have these weird abstract things.
Yeah.
But what happened here, I think they had shot their thing or whatever. Maybe Nell was sick for this episode. Something was happening. And so they were like, we need a way to fit Nell into this.
Yeah.
Because we need to give her a screen time or whatever. And so they're just like, let's shoot this 5-second thing and have her rip up a poster.
Well, maybe.
We'll shoot it around the
what
corner.
If it was like
We'll
5 minutes
outside the office?
What if it was like 5 minutes extra for this episode? And what if she actually did play some of the role?
Cut it out.
Because like she's usually the wise sage, right? Who
Yes.
everyone goes to. So it might have been one of her other brothers or some other thing. We shouldn't be happy because we're sad because of the bones or whatever.
She is in this episode.
She is?
Yeah.
Briefly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. I forgot about that. She is actually.
So her role might have been cut out and they just left the title card because whatever. It just sort of worked.
Yeah, so usually it's abstract. Today it just looked like a normal shot from the episode with the title, Without My Pants, put over the top of that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. And it's also a kind of an indicator for what's to come. It's just like, this is a bit out of the ordinary. This episode, very much out of the ordinary because for much of the episode, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, it was very weird, wasn't it?
We stopped multiple times, and I had to ask Anthony questions. What is actually happening right now? Who's that? What are they doing?
What are they doing? What's his name?
What
Bill Barron?
What's the purpose of this?
Who's that? I don't know.
Byron,
whatever.
Ben Byron.
Ben Byron, not Bill Barron.
Bill
Barron's
Barron.
a different
Who's Bill
dude.
Barron?
Some guy who does like marketing.
Really?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Oh.
Don't look him up. Nothing wrong with him, but I'm not giving him free press. Come on, please. Jeez.
You're gonna have to cut all of that out.
You're not gonna cut anything of this out.
I'm gonna cut all
Don't
of
cut
that
my
out.
freedoms out.
I'll cut your freedoms.
You want to oppress me just like the rest of the
freedoms.
world. Oppress my freedoms, freedom hater.
So, after we see that teaser, we launch into the actual episode itself. Pete, Linda, and Bronson, they're sitting on the edge of this cliff, and they've got binoculars that they're passing between them, and they're looking out to the ocean. Pete looks through the binoculars, and all of a sudden, bam, there's a dog in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
A ghost dog.
Boom, just walking on water.
Yep, he's
doing
just
his Jesus.
the Jesus walk.
Yep, and then disappears.
Well, he doesn't disappear. He walks over to the beach.
I thought he boom, disappeared off the water, and then it appears on the beach.
Yeah. Well, he teleported or something, and then the kids decide to follow him down, and they can't see the dog, but they can see what Pete describes as Barker's eggs. And
Barker's eggs?
Bronson thinks that
Dogs don't lay eggs.
Yeah, well, this is what Bronson says. He says dogs don't lay eggs. It's a joke, evidently. Have you ever heard this expression before, Barker's eggs?
Never.
Is this a thing, or is this just a Peteism?
I think it's a Pete-ism, but I don't know. It could be a dad-ism that's passed down. Like, I don't know. It sounds, when you think about it, yeah, I guess you could call them Barker's eggs. That'd be something that your dad would say. And you'd go, what? Oh, that's gross, Dad. But then, of course, when you have kids, you'd call them Barker's eggs as well. Because
You do.
You want to give your kids bad jokes to scar them for life or something. I don't know.
Anthony has a cat
Yeah.
called Admiral Trevor.
Admiral Horatio Trevor.
Does he lay Meowers eggs?
Yeah, he does.
Do you find them everywhere?
No, just in one location called the litter box.
Oh, it's very
good of him to do it and not on the floor like a fucking bad dog or something.
The dog appears back again and begins digging like a maniac. It's digged like a whole bunch of holes all over the beach. Big, massive holes. And the kids are like, oh, what's happening here? And then the dog disappears in the most retro, funky animation. I don't know how to describe this. He disappears in a streak of green fluoro light.
Yes, bad early 90s editing. Or late 80s.
Late 80s.
Late 80s editing.
I don't know. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And terrible.
Yeah.
All at once.
Really bad. And you know what? They probably blew their budget on that.
Well, I don't know if it would be that expensive.
I don't know how much it would have been back then, but I mean, special effects are pretty expensive.
I don't know the details of what you actually have to do when you're doing an effect like that before it was digital.
Modern computers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know a little bit. I'm just not 100% on what the mechanics were, how they did that. They're upstairs in the lighthouse, and Pete, the kids are all there, and Nell is here. So this is what we were talking about, Nell's part of the episode. And she's got a painting of Ben Byron. And his dog.
Yep.
Which apparently is called Shovel. And the dog is in the painting. And then Nell is explaining what's happened. And either she didn't do a very good job, or I was busy writing notes, but it was very hard to understand, from what she said, understand what we were supposed to get out of it. So Nell's job usually is to just tell us what's happening, what you need to know to be able to understand the episode. I think she did a bad job in this episode.
Yeah, she just said like, oh, he was a sailor and
he died.
And so did his dog.
Apparently he died drowning trying to rescue his dog. Okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
She goes on to say that apparently there's a boot that belongs to Mr. Gribble that used to belong to Ben Byron. And that's displayed in his shop window.
Yeah.
Okay? And we get the hints of ideas that throughout the episode they're going to have to start collecting these relics. Because usually when they come up across a ghost and around the twist, they have to find certain something or get something back together to be able to give the relics back to the ghost or form the ghost whole again so they can move on to the afterlife.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because
whatever
twist.
Yeah,
Plot.
that's just what they do. Also, we know that the ghosts interact with the paintings again.
Yes, because the dog starts digging.
Within the painting. So
this is the first time we've seen that since probably
Skeleton on the Dunny.
Skeleton on the Dunny first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we switch over to class. They're at school. So Pete and Linda are in the classroom. Snapper is monologuing about something.
He's saying something about like how the past can't be erased and how to value the past. It was something like it was probably important, but we were writing notes and we couldn't really...
No one in his class is paying attention, and neither were we. So I'm fairly sure
Snapper was going blah, 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 blah.
And he
blah, blah.
launches on to, you've got to come up with a historic figure.
Yeah.
And you've got to talk about them to the class. One girl suggests something that she wants to do.
Henty somebody. I don't know who. Henty.
Is this Hente?
Well, that's why I remember the name. I was like, oh okay, Henty.
Is that
probably
Hente?
named after, I don't know, it's probably named the guy like, I don't know what he did. But it's weird that he didn't say, Captain Cook, or like Mathew Flinders, or...
Which is the historical figure that you find most fascinating from Australia? Keep it Australian.
Oh, it has to be Australian. I don't know. None of it. No Australians.
I think it's the guy... Is he on one of the obscure notes, like the 100 or the 50, the Arctic guy?
Oh, yeah. He's pretty cool, right? The guy who's
wearing
he's
like
awesome.
a fur hat.
Not Cannon Man, other guy on the $100 bill. Cannon Man, I think,
Man?
is Sir John Monash.
Who's Cannon Man?
Cannon Man's on the other side of the $100 bill. He's there.
Really?
He's got his face there, and then there's a cannon. And I used to always call him Cannon Man because you only see to be fair, I only know now that they've got rid of the Queen off the $5 bill, I only know.
Is she not on the $5 bill anymore?
No, I don't think she is anymore.
Who is?
Like two people. Again, I don't know.
Blasphemy.
Okay, I only know one person on our notes, and that would be Benji Patterson.
Yep.
That's it.
He's on the 5, right?
No, he's on the 10.
Oh.
He's got the man from
I
Snow River
remember.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing.
He's got a cowboy hat. It's pretty cool. I don't know anyone else. There's an Aboriginal guy on the 50.
Yep.
There's a guy on the 20 who everyone confuses as Sir Charles Kingford Smith, and it's not. It's the guy who started the Royal Flying Doctors.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember his name. But we used
never remember.
But the thing is, we used to have Sir Charles Kingford Smith on the $20 note.
Did we?
Yeah, and then it switched over. Oh. So I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's the same guy," but apparently it's not.
Yeah.
Whatever. Weird.
It's like we've got these people on our currency,
yeah,
but we don't. Nobody really cares about them, and they're all like kind of like aside from even kind of including the Queen, they're all not really figures that are that relevant to Australian history.
I don't know. I don't. Well, you're saying that. You're saying that though.
Right? The Americans have presidents on theirs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like some guy.
Well,
who
we don't always have
the
presidents.
Arctic
I mean, like
Circle,
Benjamin
the guy
Franklin.
With the cannon.
Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president. Wasn't the president.
Oh yeah, Franklin. Oh yeah, I guess.
So there's an exception to the rule, I guess. I don't know, but like remember, like the president has a lot bigger role in America. Like he has more authority, whereas the prime minister in Australia doesn't.
Do we have
so much?
Barton?
No, I don't think we do.
What's his name? Barton Edward.
Sir Edmund Barton,
the first prime minister.
No, I don't.
Is
maybe
he on the note?
I don't know.
He should be on the note before
the thing
we
is,
put the Queen
like,
on the note.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I don't really. Well,
whatever.
Let's not get too political, but I don't really recognise the Queen's authority because she's not been voted in. Yeah, like, you know what I think the dumbest thing is? I still think having a governor in Queensland States is really dumb. You need, like, somebody in that position, kind of, but I think that it's an unvotable position. So why are they, like, people treat them like they're so good? Because it's like the representative of the Queen. So
I don't know. What would you have there in place? A Senate?
I don't know. It's a hard one. It's like it's interesting because in the UK, right?
Yeah.
The two-house system, Westminster, isn't it the Westminster system of politics?
I don't know.
Well, in Australia, there's the two houses. In the UK, the upper house, what we call the Senate here, the House of Lords in the UK, is made up by, like, lords who have, like, inherited their land.
Yeah, that's a little messed up to me.
Low royalty. Yeah. So these are politicians that are not voted for, that are only politicians because they were born into a certain family. Like,
yeah, that's really messed up. Like, I don't really care that the Queen's the head of Australia because she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, what can you remember the last time she actually did anything impactful?
She gave us an extra holiday like last year. It was pretty boss.
What was it?
Queen's coronation and then the Queen's birthday.
So we didn't get a holiday for the coronation?
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did. We got like an extra holiday. So that was like the only good thing she's probably done lately.
Well, I don't know.
It's just too expensive to change over. That's what I say. Look, as far as I'm concerned, it's too expensive
to change over
to a republic. Right. It's like we don't have a tax on us from bloody tea or something, and we're not apartheid. We're doing okay. Yeah, whatever. We don't need to spend money to just replace the Queen with a fucking picture of Edmund Barton.
Yeah, you're right, but I think...
And we'd have to rename everything. We'd have to have all these bloody
What would we have to rename?
Well, we'd have to, like, probably redo the Constitution. That's going to cost a whole bunch of lawyers' fees. And then you're going to have a whole bunch of other documents you're going to have to rewrite or write amendments to. Because it'll reference the Queen. Well, that's not going to work anymore. It's going to reference that. We might even have to change. We'll be like, oh, we're going to have a president? It's like, why can't we just have our system and call the Prime Minister the Prime Minister? And...
Well, it would just go that way, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Or does it have to change?
Maybe.
The Americans...
We'd have to have some vote about it or some shit. And we have this big discussion. We waste all this money in government and...
Yeah.
I mean, government wastes enough of your money, but jeez Louise. Oh, I mean, they'd be like, oh, can we use the Union Jack? Well, let's change all our flags. Let's just fucking leave the flag. You
know what I've always thought would be the most natural crossover? Like if we ever became like a republic.
Yeah.
If you just put the Aboriginal flag in the place where the Union Jack is.
Or
just left the Union Jack where it is.
I'm not saying that...
Actually, the movie Event Horizon?
Yeah.
That's what they did. It's set in the future, and Sam Neill...
It looked terrible.
It doesn't look that bad.
It looks terrible. It would look terrible. Not because it's the Aboriginal flag. It's because it's got like
aesthetics.
5 or 6 colours on it.
Yeah. It's only 3 colours on the Aboriginal flag, but ours.
But ours have 2, so that would be
5.
5, which just looks awful. There's too many colours. Like if we reduced though the amount of colours on our flag down, if you kept the colour scheme to 4, wouldn't be too terrible. Or alternatively, modify the Aboriginal flag and instead of having the circle, maybe just have the Southern Cross in the middle, or the 7 stars of the Federation. Yeah. Yeah, I could go with that. It wouldn't bother me. Whatever.
You see some of these other countries, though, and they go a bit crazy with their colours.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, little...
Yeah, and they've got ugly flags. Ugly flags. I have a poster here that's got like all the countries and all their flags. And look at the Americans. That is a sexy flag. It's blue, red, white, and blue. Three. People got that color system. Yeah, man. Fucking hell.
I've never been that hot on flags anyway, because, you know, it's like, they always look a bit, I don't know, they just look a bit, I don't know. The flag design is never that great.
Well, why don't you go to Nepal then? They have like triangle flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like the Canadian flag.
Because it's
like
red and white. Boom. It's like, hey, I know where I am, and it goes well on a bed sheet.
On a what?
On a bed sheet. Like a quilt cover.
Yeah.
It looks good, man. Shows your patriotism, but I don't have that.
What? Why don't you have patriotism?
I have patriotism. I don't have a bloody Australia flag quilt cover set.
Yeah, that would be going a bit far, I think.
Yeah. Just wouldn't really work with me.
Back to the episode. Pete has to come up with a history topic, and he's chosen to do Shovel the dog. And he says, Ben Byron he drowned when he was trying to save his dog. And apparently, like we were saying before, Mr. Gribble owns the shoe, and he's going to say, I'm going to borrow the shoe from Mr. Gribble. And the Gribble kid says, my dad will never let you borrow that. And his friend Rabbit says, listen, mate, that shoe is a valuable fartifact.
Fartifact. Here you go. And then Gribble's just like, artifact to his friend. But I love at the end, he goes, you're never going to find that. He refers to it again as artichoke.
Yes, he does.
It's so funny, those guys.
So Pete then goes to Mr. Gribble at his real estate office.
Yeah.
And he asks to borrow the shoe. And the Gribble says, mate, can't your father afford you, son? And Gribble says, Pete says, no, mate, I need the shoe, because for a presentation.
Yeah.
And Gribble says, I also need the shoe because I'm having a competition to dig up the bones of Ben Byron from the beach.
Yeah, his things were like, it's this promotional idea.
It's going to draw people in.
Yeah, it was like, it's going to make us the happiest place in bloody the world, happiest town in the world competition. We're going to dig up bones. And he gets really animated in it, and all I can say is he sounds a lot like me. I thought it was really interesting
to see the connection between digging up bones and Australia's happiest town, or whatever the competition was.
I don't know. I feel like he made sense in his mind. He was like, this would be a great idea. We'll get all the kids into a scavenger hunt, but they're bones, That's not nice and really creepy.
What if they still had, like, bits of flesh on them?
Yeah. Or, like, I can understand it being a scavenger hunt for, like, the clothes or pieces of Ben Byron. That'd be interesting, but bones is a little messed up, I don't want that.
And it's also confusing because there's the two competitions. There's the Dig Up Bones competition, and they're trying to win World's Happiest Town.
That competition is there to get people excited and energized for the event, and then that's...
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I don't really get it. It doesn't make any sense.
It's not very well explained, and it's hard to kind of pick up on what's happening.
Yeah.
On the beach... back to the beach, Pete, Linda, and Bronson, the three Twist kids, are all there, and Shovel is digging.
It's pronounced Shovel.
It is pronounced Shovel, and Pete touches the dog, and it zaps him. And then all of a sudden, whenever he says something, whenever he gets to the end of a sentence, he has to say, without my pants.
Yeah.
Because of the magic of the dog.
At the end of it, he has to go, without my pants.
Yes.
But even if he tells people though,
if he says without
my pants at the end,
part of the sentence,
then he has to still say without my pants.
Yes. Kind of weird.
It is very weird.
I vaguely remember reading this short story that Paul Jennings wrote that this was based on as a child, and I think that was some part of it, the without my pants thing, but I don't really remember why. And in this episode, it doesn't really link up properly. It's why does he say it?
Without us doing any research. It really felt like it was two episodes, again, two stories together.
The Birdsdoe problem.
Yeah, because it was them trying to dig up bones, and the bones making people sad, and then also Pete saying, without my pants.
No, I think that kind of felt organic, but I understand that he was cursed or affected in some way, because the bones emotionally affected people. But it was weird... The phrase.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been any phrase. Why without my pants?
Because you can't say without my... I don't know.
Shoes?
Because without my pants is an embarrassing thing to say.
I don't know. I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
Then he goes up to the lighthouse and tries to tell Linda what happened.
Yeah.
Because apparently she wasn't there. It was only him and Bronson. And he says, listen, I was down on the beach and I touched the dog without my pants. And she says, "Oh, not again."
Not since the swimming,
Yeah,
the
not since the
cross-country.
cross-country carnival. We had enough of you without your pants. Very funny, Linda.
Yeah, good work.
Very funny. Reference
You know what I
in
saw with
episode
this,
10 ago.
with this without your pants thing? It was kind of
What?
like a Tourette syndrome or some other anxiety-related illness.
You think it was a metaphor for Tourette's?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't think it was a metaphor. I just felt like I interpreted it as
Okay.
Tourette's, like because the person couldn't control saying something that's socially unacceptable. It was a tick. It was literally
Well,
a tick. He couldn't control it.
I'm told that Tourette's, right?
Yeah.
Having a verbal tick is not that common.
Yeah,
Like the most common Tourette's
going
tics are like non-verbal.
like they move a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm getting it confused with something else. Again, neither of us are qualified
No, I'm not a
to comment on
psychiatry
anything,
man.
really.
No, well, yeah, not really, except for this show.
This show.
Well, that's where we're
Well,
qualified.
we're barely qualified
We're
for that.
exceedingly qualified. We got
Our
our
qualification is-
we got our bachelors from Twisty University.
From Twist University.
Twist University. I got my masters from there. Thank you very much. Masters in Paul Jennings.
This is different from our degrees in making nachos.
Yes, nachology
Yes, both of us attended
and nachopathy.
a nacho university.
Nacho University.
Where we have degrees in nachology.
Yep.
It comes in very handy.
It does
in,
when we make
Cinco de
nachos.
Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is the best
Once
day of
a
the
year.
year.
Once
Well,
a
it's
year.
coming up. We should do stuff.
We should do Cinco de Mayo special podcast.
Yeah, we should. And we should make monster nachos.
Monster nachos.
Well, like big nachos. Big.
How's that different to what we normally do?
Well, I don't know. Last year you made a pie or something.
I
out of
did
the
not
nachos.
make a pie.
You made a pie or something.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't make a pie. I got the layering wrong.
You screwed the layers, man.
My lecturer would be
Your
not
lecturer
proud.
would just be like, get out! Take your pseudoscience with you.
The dad comes over to see what the kids are talking about, and Pete is still doing his without my pants thing. Pete goes, "I can't go to school tomorrow without my pants." And Tony says, "Don't worry, mate. You've got heaps of pants. There's no problem." School the next day, Pete is talking to Fiona,
Yeah.
his love interest, and he is miming a conversation to her because he's scared of saying without my pants.
Yeah.
He's doing alright. He's making fingers, jumping, trying to convey to her what he's going to be doing at sports day, which is apparently high jump.
Yeah.
Which is what Fiona will also be doing, and she asks him if he wants to train with her. And
Yeah.
he says, yes,
Without my pants.
without his pants. Which is creepy for a number of reasons.
Yeah, I want to high jump with you without my pants. It is kind of creepy, actually. But
It's very creepy.
she's like,
She's
she's
creepy.
very accepting, so,
No, she's not that accepting.
she's being very accepting of
She gives
Pete.
him the stank eye.
Yeah, but she gives him the stank eye of, oh, I still like you, though.
Really?
Yeah, well, of course. They force each other. They're forced to like each other in this show.
Who?
Fiona and Pete, pretty much.
By the plot.
Yeah, the plot. So that's that's marriage material right there.
They have an
She
odd...
sticks around for a lot of shit, so I'm just saying.
They have an odd relationship. Like, she seems interested in him. He's very interested in her, but
Yeah.
it's never, like, at least in the first series anyway, it's not really like they're dating. It's just kind of like a thing.
Yeah.
Even though they did kind of hook up in the one where Pete gets magic lipstick.
Oh yeah, true. They do sort of hook up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sort of.
We'll
I guess
track it.
when
We
you're in
need
high
to
school, hooking up means, like,
a girl
We're
confirming
dating now.
a girl confirming that she likes you and you like her through friends. That's hooking up in high school, isn't it? Or is that primary school? I don't fucking know.
well, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't really date anyone in high school. I was fucking socially retarded. Okay.
You and me both.
I still am, but it's like, whatever. I'm lucky, I guess.
Pete,
Yeah.
he's still at school, and it's time for him to do his presentation on Shovel the Dog,
Yep.
who is the historical figure that Pete has chosen to do his presentation on.
Not a real, presentation.
What do you mean?
It's not real.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna do a story on a dog. He went with his captain called, Ben. Yeah, Ben. And, yeah. It's a dog. Dog is not a fit historical character. The only dog
historical dog.
No, the only dog or animal you can use as a historical character is if he had some sort of significance. You could do Simpson's donkey.
It's Ben Byron's
Do
dog.
Simpson's donkey. That is fair. Why? Because he carried soldiers.
What makes-
What did Ben do? What did Ben's dog do? Fucking...
He was an explorer.
It's like Matthew Flinders' cat. I don't even know if he had a cat, but there's a book by Matthew Riley called Matthew Flinders' Cat.
Who's Matthew Flinders? Oh, the
guy, yeah? I don't know if he had a cat, but, that doesn't count.
Doesn't it?
Well, what did the cat do? The cat sat there and watched Matthew Flinders do all the work.
The cat.
Yeah, and probably was
the
really
dog?
nice, and I think it was a cat.
Well, wait, what are we talking about?
Matthew Flinders' cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bit confused. So you're saying the cat did nothing.
Yeah.
But the dogs are generally more useful than cats.
Still, he doesn't, like, unless he's, like, doing calculations, unless he's drawing maps, right? Unless he's doing calculations, drawing maps, or, I don't know, like, navigating with his little paws on a steering wheel.
He's not doing that.
Okay, he's not doing that, he's not doing anything then. Unless he's improving morale. Maybe Matthew Flinders Ben Byron suffered, or whatever his name is, suffered massive depression. But his dog was there for him while he was feeling sad.
A dangerous condition to have when you're sailing around by yourself.
It could do, because later on everyone's sad in the episode, so maybe the dog was there as, like, kept his depression at bay. I don't know. It's the only reason why a dog or an animal should ever be a historical figure.
Dogs are actually useful to have if you were, like, exploring or something.
Yeah, but they're still not good as historical characters.
Why not?
Because they don't do anything. The dogs that pulled the sled, alright, when the Arctic explorers, we were talking about before, they pulled the sled. That is literally their function.
This
right?
is speciesist, Anthony.
I'm sorry, but they literally did nothing outside of the ordinary. Them pulling a sleigh is exactly like you walking down the street and finding like $5. Well, this was pretty good, but it's like anybody could do that.
I think you're getting a bit casually speciesist.
Well, that's fine. If dogs are offended, if you're listening, write in, because then I will be absolutely amazed if a dog writes in and says,
listen, if you're a dog and you're feeling offended by the way that we're speaking about dogs, feel free to contact us and let us know your true feelings on the situation.
Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof.
Please educate us on the issue of speciesism. Pete keeps doing the without my pants thing, which is really embarrassing for his presentation.
Yeah.
Because it leads to the class thinking that he's a straker.
Yeah.
And Snapper says, listen, you can do it tomorrow if you're not going to take it seriously today. So get your act together, come back, do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
They go to the beach, and the dog has brought over some bones.
Yeah.
The bones of Ben Byron. So the dog, who is apparently a she, I didn't myself look at the genitalia of the dog to check for myself, but according to the characters, it's a she. She's brought a bunch of bones. She's been collecting her master's bones, and she's brought them over to him. She's brought them over to the twist.
To the twist, yeah.
It's got loads of bones, and they pick them up and they start crying. Because the bones apparently have magical qualities that make you cry.
Yeah, they give you depression.
So now they just know, apparently from the magical properties of the bones, that they need to get the boot to go with the bones. And then the dog disappears in a light of funkiness.
The funkiness that goes out.
I've written here, dog funks out.
Did you? What did I write?
Funks.
I didn't write anything like that.
Yeah, because you don't take notes about what actually happens.
They become really sad. They want to buy shoe to put bones away.
Yeah, so they want to try and buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then twists are crying, and they decide to go and buy the bones at Gribble's house.
To buy the boot.
Gribble's office. The boot.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said you wanted to buy the bones at the Gribble's house.
They have the bones, Gribble has the boot. And they pull out the bones, and they start crying, and then the Gribbles start crying, and they're trying to take the boot. And then the judge for the happiness competition arrives, and he's not impressed because everyone is crying. Yeah,
he's a very not an unhappy, but I guess it's more, what's the term? Stern, unemotional happiness judger, which is a bit weird because you feel like it'd be hard to quantify happiness.
Yes.
So it'd be very much about a person who can really see happiness. So it'd probably be someone who's like really easily able to be happy. So you'd have to be like, I felt really happy in that town. Because I can't see how you would have happiness any other way than having a bunch of people go in there as a team.
Yeah.
Each write out scores of how they felt in the town and then give up an aggregate score.
The whole thing seems weird and very forced for one or two jokes.
Yeah.
And the punchlines aren't even that strong. Pete and Linda are still crying in the room, and they go up. They're still crying. They're in the lighthouse. They're still crying. And Pete is trying to listen to music to stop the sadness, but it's not working. Then they hear the creepy music.
Yeah.
They rush upstairs, and Pete has a recorder in his hand.
Yeah.
They stick it into the music room where the creepy music that we hear every episode is playing from, and he tries to record it, then busts through and the music stops.
Yeah.
He checks his recorder, no music on the recorder.
Yes. Auditory hallucinations.
This is what that's called?
Probably. Well, I mean, think about it. He plays it, there's nothing on the recorder.
Yes.
So, could be an auditory hallucination.
It could be.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know what type of psychological disorders that would be, but I mean...
I don't know.
Well, let's think about this. Okay.
Yes.
It could be many things. One of them could be even just bipolar, because they get sad and then they get happy at the end for no apparent reason.
Does bipolar have hallucinations as part of the symptoms?
Yeah, in like the manics, if you have a manic episode, it can, but they weren't very manic, so I don't think so. But
they were crying.
Yeah, but remember, this could also all be a part of a dream, fabricated reality. So, I mean, that would make more sense than the ghost not recording the thing. It would make more sense that they were hearing this hallucination.
One of the ongoing theories that we have is that everything that happens around the twist is a part of coma hallucination that Nell is having.
Yes.
But the problem with the last few episodes we've had is that we haven't had a whole lot of Nell.
We haven't had
to talk about that.
Well, we haven't. She hasn't been there to be like, "Can you hear this, Nell?"
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Running tests. It's basically just been she hasn't been there, and because it's kind of like her not being there, it is confirmation that it is, which it obviously is bad science.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very bad science.
But I found something really interesting that
What did you find?
Tony says, and this is why I was talking a lot about depression. Like, I feel like this is the dog bones are at least a metaphor for depression, right?
I guess.
Right. Well, because Tony says, I feel incredibly sad in this house, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I shouldn't feel sad. There's nothing wrong with me. Basically, oh, there's this mouse. That's the reason.
So let me set this up. We cut down to the kitchen, and Tony and Bronson are there.
Yeah.
Tony's crying, like you said. He doesn't know why he's crying. He thinks it's because of the rats. We see a rat run across the ground, and then he picks up a dead mouse in a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so continue, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that he picks it up, like, and maybe he tries to attribute why he's feeling sad to a certain thing, when it could just be all, like, with depression, there is no reason for you to feel sad. It's a mental illness. It's like a physical illness. Yeah, it's chemicals in your brain. Alright? But you might attribute it to something else. And when you can't find any trigger, maybe there's something, you feel like there might be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
How do they resolve this in the end? They don't seek psychiatric help, they just go and find bones. So, not very good advice for Paul Jennings, but whatever. Paul Jennings, the character in the novel I'm writing, by the way.
There is some wisdom in this though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, you can't really fix what is actually making you sad, right?
Yeah.
The internal thing.
Yeah.
In this case, a magic spell. In the case of a mental illness, chemicals, whatever.
But just by sheer will alone.
But if you handle the things that you can handle, then it's going to make things easier for you. So if you can, I don't know, do whatever, if you can just get through what you need to get through, it'll start to make things easier.
Yeah.
Just take small bits at a time.
Yeah. Set goals.
Set goals.
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes.
Medication.
Yes.
All that jazz.
The Twist Kids, they have the shoe and the bones now.
Yeah.
And in Pete's room, I think, and the bones make a foot, and they get in the shoe.
Yeah.
So they go, we need to get the rest of these bones.
That's a little messed up.
We gotta catch them.
No, that's what they didn't say. They didn't go, yep, okay. They would just accepted that and said, we need to get the rest of these bones, as opposed to, whoa, fuck, what the hell is that skeleton gonna do? Because how do you know the skeleton's not gonna kill you?
Well, you don't.
You ever see, the old, what's its name? Clash of the Titans? They got a skeleton.
Stop motion.
Yeah, stop motion with a skeleton army. Yeah, he could be a giant sword on the ground. He could try to kill you and, like, absorb your soul or something. Like, in Hellraiser. And he, like, eats your flesh and becomes regenerated. You don't know that. You just saw a bone get into a shoe. I mean, first thing you should do is throw that away.
Yeah, throw it in the
Don't need that. That's not my problem.
Well, first of all, it's making you sad.
Yep.
It's making your whole family sad.
Yep.
And also, it's cursed you with saying "without my pants" at the end of every sentence.
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
Or, well, I guess, like, he has to do it. Like, if he wasn't cursed, I would get rid of it, But I guess maybe he'd think if he throws it away, the curse will just stay.
Yeah.
He's kind of screwed then, isn't he?
Faye arrives, who is Tony, the dad, his love interest.
Yeah.
And she opens the door, and Tony's crying. And she goes, "Oh, has there been a death in the family?" And Tony says, "Oh, yes, this mouse has died." And he gives her the mousetrap, and she says...
he holds it up, and he's just like... No, he was like, no, just mouse has died,
Yeah.
And, of course, Faye's like, oh, I didn't realize she was so sensitive.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, she loves it.
She loves it. She loves the snags, right?
Well, she's obviously into the artistic man because he's an
artistic
artist.
man. She loves a man who's in touch with his feelings. And it's just like, you know, he feels sad that this animal had died. When in reality, it's not even close to that.
Well, I guess.
I mean, he's attributing his sadness to something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants to take him back to her house to make him feel better.
Yeah, a little bit of bed therapy, I'll call it.
Sex therapy, you can say that.
Yeah, I know, but
That's
I like to be more classy and call it bed therapy. Because it's not just that. It's not just, hey, let's go back and have sex. It's more, oh, you're so brave, blah, blah. You sit on the couch, they talk, blah, blah, blah. And then it moves from the couch to the bedroom and blah, blah, blah. It's not just simple as, hey, let's just go to the bed and have sex.
But sex therapy isn't therapy that is sex. Sex therapy is therapy that involves talking about sex.
No, well, and then it's therapy that involves sex is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I was just
I'm talking
up
all right.
Yeah, I know what you were saying.
Good, because that's what I was talking about, man. Bed therapy.
Bed therapy. Yeah.
Or couch therapy, whatever.
There is a
wherever you want it.
Notable
kitchen counter therapy.
What? Kitchen
pool table therapy.
There is a notable politician in our area.
Yeah.
That I'm told is a sex therapist.
Yep, yeah. She is. She's a sex therapist. She's also a doctor.
PhD in psychology, I believe.
Philosophy?
I don't know.
I don't know. She's a PhD in philosophy, but nobody can get to her doctorate. Do you know she went to my university?
Did she?
Yeah, apparently.
And they can't get her doctorate?
Like, her doctorate's like, they can't get it. Copies of it, and it's like...
Why would you say that you had a doctorate if you didn't really?
Probably... No, she does have a doctorate. It probably is the doctorate is a little... You know, a little bit, because she's a sex therapist, a little racy. And so, because she's trying to be a politician, maybe...
No, you should be... Even, like, I know UQ's still a little bit archaic in their storing methods.
Yeah.
Because they're quite an old university. But with most universities, you can just go online, search for the person's name, find their thesis paper.
Yeah.
You should be able to find that.
We should be able to.
That would be
But the thing is, like,
fun
they have confirmed, like, UQ did confirm that she did graduate with a thesis, but they can't...
They can't find a thesis?
Yeah, they can't find the thesis, like, so they knew that the graduation had occurred, they confirmed all that other stuff.
Who's investigating this?
Well, like, a lot of people, like the QT did it, Curie Mao tried to look at it as well.
The Curie Mail is involved in the Ipswich district.
Dude, they need stories, man, they need stories.
I guess.
Like, you literally just ask UQ, hey, did she graduate?
Yes.
Yes, she did. Here's her transcript. Actually, she wouldn't have a transcript because she'd have a thesis.
I don't think you can just supply somebody with a transcript unless they ask, right? Unless they're the one that's asking. You can't just... It's not public information transcripts,
I don't know. I literally don't know.
The Gribble has arrived at the lighthouse as well, and he has the Funtown guy here. I don't know why he's bringing the fun inspector guy to the lighthouse, because he wouldn't know that it was there, really, because it's kind of out of the way.
Yeah, but it's sort of... We don't know how what Port Miranda looks like, but a big lighthouse on by the ocean is probably going to be one of those...
that big.
It's big enough to be like, oh, okay, there's something there, but it's still Gribble. Every time you come to the Twist house, something weird happens.
Something crazy's happening.
Stop going to the Twist house unless you're looking.
Bring people here.
Only go there with buyers who are looking to purchase the land from underneath Twist's feet.
Yes.
But these guy isn't, so don't go there. There'll be weird stuff happening. Unless, of course, he thought, hey, you know what? They were dressed as clowns last week. Maybe we go there because they'll have happy circus shit. Because remember, he's playing like clown or circus music in the car. He's saying, oh, I love that happy music. I love Gribble's choice in music. He's always like, oh, I love that country music like last week.
Yeah. The Funtown competition judge is not impressed at seeing Tony and the kids crying. And Tony gives the mousetrap with a dead mouse in it to Mr. Gribble. Cutting to class. Snapper is in class. It's time for Pete to do his presentation. No more jokes. And Tiger says, don't you mean jocks?
Don't you mean jocks? Yeah.
Without my pants.
He's pretty funny. Yeah. Funny. He's a funny guy.
Good job, Paul. Pete grabs... He is ready to do his presentation and crams through sentences. He races through them as quick as he can, so that he only has to say without my pants once right at the end.
Yeah.
And he through his presentation.
It's a shame he wasn't born like 10 or 15 years later.
Why?
He could have been perceived as innovative by Snapper, right? Chosen something that isn't...
Postmodern.
Yeah, postmodern. No, just innovative. Just chosen someone who's like Australian film legend or an Australian theatre legend.
Yeah.
Filmed himself doing the presentation, gone into an editing suite, cutting out all the without your pants, put it on the TV and said, oh, actually, this guy's going to do the presentation without my parents.
Yeah, but
Plug it in, play, and then Snapper would have gone, oh, how innovative.
Yeah.
And if it was 20 years now, you'd have like hashtags and stuff and be like, oh, we've got a Facebook page set up. And you go, oh, I love transmedia. Oh, I love it so much. A+.
yeah, Pete.
You know how lecturers are.
Yeah,
Or teachers.
Yeah, they're a bit like that. Pete it's not that great what he did. He just raced through sentences. Snapper's not that impressed. He says, without my pants, everyone laughs because he keeps saying it.
Yeah.
So he decides to pull out the sack of possessed bones.
Here's some bones I found of a real-life human.
And he pours them on the desk, and everyone starts crying because of the magical bones.
Yep.
And this is probably one of my favourite moments in Around the Twist ever. Everyone's crying. They're all bawling. And Snapper says, 10 out of 10. I laughed quite
Class dismissed.
Yeah.
He's like so sad. I'm like,
Yeah.
that was a good move then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbit says, those bones, they're valuable artichokes. So we need to go and get them. So the next scene is Gribble and Rabbit on the beach with a metal detector. I'm not sure what they were trying to do.
What are they trying
here.
to detect with, like, a rubber boot?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
They're digging in the mud, then they find another boot, the other boot, and the relic, and they start to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's those
they've worked
bones.
out it's the bones that make you cry. Good job. Gribble always comes
Yeah,
in...
but it's the bones that make you cry. They're nowhere near the bones.
No, they are, because the twists are coming.
Oh, okay, so like...
So they run and hide. So the twists
Makes
arrive with the dog bones. The dog teleports in, and it finds a lot of bones. And
Yeah.
Pete's crying, and he goes, the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone without my pants. While he's bawling, tears rolling down his
Yeah.
cheeks. The dog gets a bag for them.
Yep.
Very
Very
nice
nice of him.
Good
yeah.
job, dog.
They have to carry it in their shirt. Then
Then
they
he
have to make a shirt bag.
Digs a shirt bag
A shirt bag.
for bones.
Well, like, you know what a shirt bag is.
Yeah, I know.
With
But
your
are you
shirt.
going to put bones in that?
Well, what else are you going to carry? With
No.
your hands?
The bag that the dog magically finds.
I
for you.
said, yeah, but like, I said that they don't need to
Yeah.
have the shirt thingy.
The shirt bag.
Yeah, but they also find a shirt too, so they could have turned
Yes.
that shirt into a bag.
Yes. And the dog digs a massive hole and pulls out Ben Byron's skull. Hopefully it's Ben Byron's.
Why
and
is
not just
Ben?
some
Why
random
why
person.
is his bones scattered everywhere?
Well, because they've washed up on the shore and...
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they would
Like-
not have all been in the same place.
Like, some of it would have been in the same place. Absolutely. Like, his rib and his entire, like, maybe, what came along and ripped his body in half, ate him and pecked at it.
Scattered the
Yeah,
bones.
like, all I could see is like some, him decomposing and then maybe like a dingo or something chewing off a leg. I could see that. But taking the whole body in half? That's weird. And then his clothes. I know we know his bodies, and they're not, his clothes are not torn either.
No.
So, why are they scattered everywhere?
Well, the seed in...
Did
Portnoranda-
Nell kill this person?
Probably.
Right?
But-
scatter, like chop up the guy into little pieces and then scatter his clothes all over the beach.
The sea at Portnoranda
Yeah.
seems to have restorative or, like, embalming qualities because the clothes in this episode and the clothes in the clown episode haven't really decayed at all. And you would think that they would have.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, I suppose so. And
So,
the bones haven't
the
decayed
sea's
at all too,
preserving
really.
them. Yeah.
They're like, I know why they are pale white. Like
Why?
they are white as. That's because like they had to get
They're
a prop
props.
skeleton. Yeah. Because it should be like a really dark brown or yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks pretty fake. It's like, what the hell?
Now they've got all the bones.
Yep.
They've caught them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Yes.
Pokemon.
And they're no longer sad.
Yep.
The Gribbles ambush them, and they start chasing the Twists around the beach. Tiger chases Bronson, and he's commentates as he's chasing.
I like that. He's
Yeah, it's
commentating.
pretty
It's kind of funny.
Tiger's basically the best character.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Bronson says, I don't want to fight you, I'm a packy fist.
I'm a packy fist. Mm.
Yes. Is he being racist?
Yeah, he's being racist to Pakistanis.
And then he's worried because he's about to get he's carrying some of the relics with him, and the dog appears and pees on Tiger.
But he's invisible, though. He's invisible.
Yeah, he appears invisibly.
So you can see pee coming from nowhere. Originally,
then-
I thought that was like Ben
Byron
Byron or something.
pissing on him.
Yeah, that's what I thought originally.
Then the boot that Bronson's carrying magically floats towards Tiger, and Tiger runs away scared.
I thought I was going to kick him in the balls.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I thought, because it was like crotch high.
Maybe they filmed that and were like, yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah. No, we were like, hey mate, are you alright getting kicked in the balls by this shoe?
No.
No, mate.
Alright,
I'm not that stupid.
Rabbit is chasing Pete, and he wants the relics. Give me the pants.
Yep.
Because Pete is carrying the pants. I can't really remember where they got them from. I think the dog just gave them to them at some point. And he, instead of giving them the pants that belong to Ben Byron, he gives Rabbit his own pants.
Yeah.
Takes them off and throws them to him.
That makes sense.
Yes. Linda is being chased by Gribble and Tiger, because Tiger has left Bronson and gone after Linda. Linda does a judo throw, because we know that
does
that's
that one where you like
character.
she rolls onto her back and then rolls her down the hill, which is her that time, instead of flinging Bronson into the tree, this time was actually a lot more accurate.
Yes. And throws him off a cliff.
Well, okay, throws him off a cliff.
It's like a steep hill.
We should stay, it's kind of a steep hill, but he sort of just rolls down. So it's not like, murder.
Well.
Less like murder, more like, ow, I'm hurt.
Yes. And Tiger says, I was just here to make sure that he didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me. Bones are gathered.
Yes.
They throw the bones into a big pit, the Twist Kids.
A freshly dug grave.
Yes,
basically.
they've dug a grave, and the bones reassemble themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Judge and the Mr. Gribble arrive, and the other Gribbles come down with one of the shoes, which I'm not sure exactly how they had. I wasn't quite following, but they came down with the shoe, and the skeleton stands up and waves at them, and Gribble just gives him a shoe because he's really scared.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pete...
Oh wait, no, hang on. I know what it was.
What?
It was the shoe they found.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was Bronson had the other shoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete gives the skeleton the pants that he's wearing, Ben Byron's skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
They bury him, and they make a sign that says Ben Byron.
Out of what did they make the sign out of?
Wood.
Wood.
A cross.
Yeah.
It's a gravestone.
It looked pretty good, though. I mean,
it was alright. I think it was a fairly poor decision on their part. Because won't tourists want to come and dig up the bones and see them?
I don't know.
But
Probably
I guess
not.
that his spirit has rested now.
Yeah, but like, if his bones are disturbed, will they not? I don't know. I have no idea how his spirit physics work.
I don't know. But it seems to be like this has secured his ascension because he appears as a human, not just as a skeleton, with his dog, and they ascend.
Yeah.
As we've seen multiple ghosts ascend.
Yeah.
Pete says bye to the ghost.
He's very happy,
and
too.
doesn't say without my pants because he's cured. But then we reveal that he's not wearing his pants.
Yep.
Because it's a joke.
Yep. Without his pants. Get it?
See, I like the whole without my pants thing. Why?
I don't know. Because it's socially embarrassing? I don't know.
Yeah, but why that phrase? It doesn't add anything.
You can, I think it's like a game though you play, right? You say it on to the end of normal sentences.
Is it a game?
You try to make it the most weirdest thing ever. It's kind of like the, is it the vagina game? The one where you like, you replace the movie title with, so it's like, the Englishman who went up a hill and came down a vagina.
Is that?
Yeah, that's a real name. It's a real game, man. I'm sorry.
I thought you meant the one where you yell inappropriate words and you have to get louder and louder.
That's a game too, but you yell it while you're looking at a video store, even though nobody's at a video store these days, right?
Yeah. We still have them here.
Yeah, I mean, but like, who goes there?
Yeah, people go.
You go, don't you?
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
I don't go.
When it's like, it's hard because the stuff that I like to watch, they don't usually have, but if they had the stuff that I watch and it was reasonable price, I would probably go a lot more.
I would too, probably. I mean, if it wasn't the fact that it's a lot easier to get it online.
It is much easier.
Yeah. Even if you get it, even getting it legally online is easy, you know?
Legally. Legally as in, yes, this is legal, not illegally, which is not legal.
Yeah.
Yes.
As in, like...
I'm just worried about because we were saying illegally like legally.
Legally.
Yeah. Well, I think it's our accent.
Okay.
Illegally sounds like illegally.
I don't know. I thought people would know the difference between legally and illegally.
No, but I'm worried about the way that our accent comes across.
Oh, well, whatever. Screw 'em.
I think, is it just the way that we speak, or is it our accent? Because I know we speak a little bit differently. Because you have your weird American thing.
Well, I don't know. Like, I say, like, cholera weird sometimes. I don't know why.
Cholera?
Cholera.
Yeah, what circumstances do you need to be saying cholera?
I said collar.
Oh, collar, as in dog collar?
Collar, as in, like, the fucking color of things.
Oh, what I can't see.
Yeah, you can't see color.
because I am colorblind.
Yeah, that's true. It is true.
Well, I'm not monochromatic. Let's not give anybody the wrong impression.
Well, that's apparently what the QCS thinks. You're monochromatic colorblind.
Yes, so
they gave you a
let me
black
set
and
this
white
up.
QCS.
For those of you that don't know, QCS is a test that we do in Queensland before you get your OP. It's part of the whole calculation process, and everyone in your school, everyone in Queensland in grade 12 has to do this test, and it's basically like an aptitude test.
Yeah.
Kind of. And
I like to compare it to the SAT in America.
I guess. It's got like short answer, it's got multiple choice, and it's got a creative response portion. But the thing that happened to me was my mum made me put down that I was colorblind. I'm only red green colorblind. I can see color.
Yeah.
It's just really hard for me to sometimes say what a certain color is. Like if you were to point at a color and the light was a bit funny or something, I might say something weird, because whenever I see color, I have to think of something that I know is a certain color. I have to match it with like references in my mind. So it's like, is that blue? Well, I know that this other thing that I remember is blue, so this thing is blue as well.
Yeah.
And so we put down color, get to the test, and they've given me a black and white paper for all of my tests. How does that help me?
I don't know.
Were they trying to save $1 on printing costs?
I don't know. They were like, I really don't know why they did that to you, but
It
who the
makes
hell
no
knows?
sense. If I was monochromatic colorblind, what would the difference have been in giving me
Yeah, exactly.
the black and white? It wasn't even good black and white printing. They'd like printed it on A3 and they'd like sticky taped it together.
It's funny. That's hilarious. Makes me laugh every time.
Except this time.
Except this time when it's just like, man, wow.
Yes.
Just wow.
The Queensland education system, hey?
Queensland.
Who are they hiring these days?
I don't know, some jokers.
So that's all we have in the episode. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to?
Not really.
About Without My Pants?
Not really. Like, there wasn't a lot to do. It was really, there's too much going on, but it wasn't like of substantial value, that there wasn't anything to really comment on, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it was hard to make notes, but the notes we were making, they were not very good. They didn't lead into one another. Like, the best thing I got was the depression metaphor. That was it.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good.
That's it. Like, other than that, there's not a lot of depth in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I have anything I want to talk about. There wasn't any great big hooks like there is sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with the robot thing last week. That was
Yeah.
good.
The good robots.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Lunch.
Lunch.
Have you had lunch today?
No, not yet. I want to get some lunch.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, me too.
What are you going to have for lunch today?
What do you want to eat?
I don't know. Probably go to our bakery. We'd like to support local bakeries.
Let's go to the
on
bakery.
this podcast.
Bakery.
Bakery.
I will go to the bakery and I will order a sausage roll because I can't really eat pies.
Why not?
I love pies. Like, don't get me wrong, I love pies.
Yes.
But I always end up getting like reflux from pies. And so it's like, do I want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Do I want to deal with scalding hot acid or bile going up my mouth?
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
Not good. But it's so good though. Pies are so delicious.
And just going back to Without My Pants for a second, how would you rate this episode? Out of 10 bowls of spaghetti.
The concept of saying without my pants,
Yes.
very funny, so I'll give that an 8 out of 10.
What?
I was saying giving the
Okay.
concept 8 out of 10.
Alright.
The episode itself, I'd give it like 4 bowls of Heinz canned spaghetti out of 10.
Canned spaghetti. Yeah.
Cold canned spaghetti.
Cold.
But like spaghetti that's been in the fridge.
I would give it...
Fridge that's been in the fridge.
Fridge chilled.
No, it's been open in a
Open.
can, right? And then your mother
stored in the
says,
fridge.
Anthony, you keep eating too many canned spaghettis and not eating the rest, so you gotta eat the rest of that can. So I gotta eat this bloody open canned
Very,
spaghetti.
very specific.
Yeah, well, it happened. And I was just like, I started eating it. It was disgusting. I threw up. So that kind of spaghetti.
So, in future, you just threw out the rest of your spaghetti?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that your mum wouldn't make you eat it?
Yes. It's fucking disgusting.
I would give this episode 4 bowls of uncooked spaghetti.
Me too. Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just remember, if you like us, you like hearing our voices, they soothe you.
Why
and
would you?
our sensual,
Yes.
sexy voices. Put you to sleep at night, maybe. Maybe. They might.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Might do all kinds of recreational activities.
Who
to our
knows?
voices.
Maybe you mow the lawn to this. Maybe you drive. Whatever.
Maybe you use the treadmill at the gym.
Hey, maybe.
Or podcasts are actually a good way to get fit.
I don't know. I don't find podcasts to be that interesting. Like,
Well done.
I mean, for going to do activities that you can, like, going on a treadmill, why are you not watching a show? Like, it makes more sense to me than having, unless you're going to have beat up music. Like, you know, podcasts are great if you're going to mow the lawn. You can't watch TV while you're mowing the lawn. Can't really listen to music, because guess what happens? You stand there for like 5 minutes going through Pandora while you waste tons of fuel. Click, click, click. To get the best song.
It's also, podcast is also good for the train.
Yeah, that too.
Reading is good for the train, but podcasts
are even better.
Are better, yes.
And if you're at work and you need things to do, hey, look, you got a podcast. You got us talking in your ear, helping you get through those spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to convert themselves to whatever it is you do with those spreadsheets.
EXL?
.xml file. Yeah. From a CVS.
And that's all we have time for.
Anyway, yes. Sorry, Joseph, but
yes.
we need to finish this.
Social media.
If you like us.
How can you find us?
Well, I was going to ask them to subscribe to us on iTunes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you can find us in the iTunes store.
Yes.
Right, we're Tales from the Twists with an S.
Plural.
If you're not subscribed to us, you want to do that. Find us on social media at Tales from the Twists on Facebook. Plural, yeah, absolutely. And then if you want to find us on Twitter, because you use Twitter, alright, get us at TFT Twists.
TFT Twists.
So it's like Tales from the Twists, just use TFT and then Twists. It's like,
plural.
Wow. Yeah, plural, obviously, because that's the kind of people we are. Plural men. Yeah. All right.
Excellent. Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you for listening to Tales from the Twists. My name is Joe Lewis, and my friend
am Anthony Bull.
Thank you very much for listening. Stay twisty.